got that carry, and it's a walk-on running back, Jackson.
The first Chinese-born player ever to
you actually broke the internet tonight. So many people
Made
are going
in
to
China.
find out more about you.
Jackson, I can imagine that there's an immense amount of pressure.
If he can really develop himself and show other people in China that there is a viable option, it has tremendous value that you can't really put a figure on.
Walls closing in, I guess that I'm going big. So appropriate that I
the first Chinese-born player to walk onto a D1 football team and subsequently score a touchdown.
Chinese too. Why not?
Now they know there's a path. Of course, it's the pressure, you know. He's representing the whole country right now, the whole China right now.
All right, dog. Appreciate it. Come out here.
Okay, at first I really want to play basketball out here because, you know, Yao Ming and Jeremy Lin, all that stuff, it made me feel like, oh my, I can do this too. I want to do this too. But then I find out I was like, I'm a little short, I'm a little fat. And then so I was like, it's not my size. I come over here to America in San Diego, and then I was just walking around the campus, and then just one parent comes to me like, you play football? And then I want to try it. And then he said, go search it up, like, you know, the position online, and then come to the practice next time. So I just went, and then I fell in love with it.
Yo, brother. That was my sunshine kid. He was green, really green, and like I said, never played the game before. How he learned English was just through the team, you know, playing with us and interacting with the football players and all that kind of stuff, and we embraced him. Yeah, good times. Yep, I told him about the spaghetti too.
He's like a grandpa figure to me. Coach Ron is like, and he's like a mentor to me, and then he's like the guy who actually lead me into this football world. He actually the one that tell me to actually stay there to play another year because he saw my potential, I guess.
The weight room used to sit right here. But my first time seeing him, we were lifting, and I was like, dang, this dude is explosive. He had bounce for a big dude and quickness. So usually first year of football, you stick them on the line so they get used to contact and all that. In his second year, he came back and he said, Coach, I want to be a running back. And I was like, man, hey, running back is no joke. So all that summer, he worked hard in the morning, 6 a.m., twice a day practice, and he got there. Back then, player calling me at 5:30 in the morning. He said, Coach, let's go. And I'm like, all right, let's go. If you want to go, I'm going to be there. You better be outside when I get there.
What's poppin', yo? I'm back in San Diego, back to where I started. So today, I'm going to show y'all around.
It was a close game, and Jackson had ran in for a touchdown. And I think it was his first touchdown that he ever scored. And I remember immediately he throws the ball to the refs, and then he starts dancing in the end zone, and he hits them folks. Boom! Flag in the air. Didn't care. Biggest smile on his face. He's jumping up and down. He's all excited. Originally, he went to this super small NAIA school called Jamestown.
So the first year when I was in Jamestown, I was really depressed because I actually thought I can play, and then when I get there, the terminology is so hard because in Jamestown we run in pro style offense, and I don't know who can help me because the coaches over there is like really tough. It's like a really dark time because I doubted myself if I can really play football. So I called him all the time to, you know, get some kind word from him.
I said, I'm always there for you. You know, and I don't know how many coaches would do that for a ball player like that. That's all right, Bubba. So all right, Coach. I'm glad you're doing well. It's nice to see you and talk to you. All right? Love you, buddy.
I love you too, Coach.
All right. I love that kid. Yeah. He'll always be part of my family. Always. Yeah.
I told you.
I said the training room.
the training, not the equipment. No, yes, that's what it is.
Danny was sleepy. Yeah, he was like this. I had to tell George to, you know what I'm saying? Like wake him up a little bit.
Gotta get my helmet, you know what I'm saying? Gotta get my bag.
And I really just want to show out the world that Chinese can ball too, you know? Chinese too.
Starting in 2003, we started Appleseed program. We started those flag football leagues in elementary school. And a lot of those flag players back then in the middle school, now they are actually becoming a coach or PE teacher. So yesterday I just visited a kindergarten, witnessed 300 kids playing a flag football league in their school. And the head of the football program there was one of the students back in 2003 attending the NFL Appleseed programs.
Some of these youth programs are pretty big. They have like maybe close to like 1,000 to 2,000 kids enrolled in them.
When I was in the like middle school, high school, the parents always thinking that the sports is like this. The school is always the most important.
This year, I don't know if you know, there's a big policy change in education in China. So now the kids have a lot more free time. And sports is actually taking a much more priority in the education system.
If we fast forward maybe 5 or 10 years, these kids are going to start wanting to, go to continue playing football in high school, which is not that doesn't really exist right now in China. There's no like high school football.
If we can identify athletic talent and then, here in China, and then finding a pathway for them to get to play in high school in the US so that increases their chances of being recruited and then playing in the NCAA, I think that will really help. So, and I want to say in terms of what does the next 10 years look like, what do we want? I think we want more Jackson Hus.
Yeah. 我哋 football team 有一個 Hong Kong 嚟嘅 trainer. Yeah. 佢要學 I'll probably just get some wedges, get some fibers in my body, and then I'm gonna get some meat. I don't know what kind of meat I want, I'm gonna just search it around. Yeah, man, I'm a good cook. Every international student, they have to know how to cook. It's just like the basic skill. Bak choy, man. Bak choy. Essential. Bak choy. I don't do a lot of seafood because I got gout. You know what that is? Beef meatball. 牛筋丸. Hello. Down there, because like a lot of people don't want to park down there because it's kind of far. But what I do, bro, is I get on this, I just ride it. Right in. I just feel like this sports can really teach the kids over back home how to grow up, how to work with the team, how to become a tougher individual. So I think I really want to promote the sports in China.
还长肌肉了，我觉得他练了不少。
But when Jackson make the touchdown, I would say it breaks the wall. He breaks the wall. Like people thinking, oh, Asians can't play football. We're too small.
They kind of hold on to this notion that like it's a violent sport. It's a sport that with like a lot of rules. Asian people weren't made to play football.
如果你问他们，橄榄球是专属于谁的运动，他们将回答，这是属于每一个人的运动。
Once they've seen that someone that is not only Asian, but someone who's actually from their country and shares a very similar background to them can kind of make it, I think it really opened a lot of people's eyes and made people more willing to accept that like this is a viable sport to continue to like grow here in China.
Right now, a lot of like our kids, the parents, they think Jackson is their like superstar. I have some like the kids WeChat. They're using Jackson's picture as their profile picture.
To be honest, I think one touchdown, it just doesn't mean too much. If my teammates, they don't score like 63 points before that, I'm not gonna get in, So I think my role on the team, I just, I gotta be ready all the time, like just in case something happens.
Yeah, I just patiently waiting. No, I don't patiently waiting. I proactively waiting for that moment.
So it's tragic, you a pump fake. Model for my city, plain and simple, set the runway. Had to run them out of the town right after snatch.
And I think it's really important for the kids to say that, okay, I'm playing football today, but I need to have a purpose. Why am I playing football? Can I play football 10 years from now? Is there a place for me to be able to compete? And now they say Jack and go, yeah, I think that's really been very helpful.
Putting his Chinese name on the back of his jersey, I think that created a buzz already. And then the fact that he was able to punch in that touchdown the following week, there's a lot of pride amongst the local football community just to see that. As Roy mentioned, it became an inspirational moment.
努力的去做就好了，追逐你的梦想，就努力干就行了。
People, especially in America, think the Asian boys are very shy. They don't talk a lot. But you know, the Jackson is like, he's like funny.
You know, he has that Gen Z mentality. You know, he's on Douyin, which are these Chinese social channels, and he's very willing to engage, and he has a very engaging personality. He is able to kind of pull people in and explain, hey, this is what a day is like, you know, for me as a college football player.
上课的路上，离学校我要上课的地方大概要走10分钟左右，其实也不是很远啦，就是有一点热，也不算太热啦，也就40几度。
And I think breaking down the mysteries around the game and making it less foreign, right? Making it something that like, hey, this is something that you can play too. If I can do it, you can do it.
Yes, sir, we here. Let's go. Let's go eat some food. With my friend, Absa.
他不是中国人吗？
是啊，Absa 是他女朋友。
对，
是菲菲。 Look at his face, bro.
Like, I would love to have Jackson come back and be a part of growing the game and expanding the game in China, because I think he has those credentials now, right? Not that he has to, you know, achieve amazing success on the field or make it to the NFL in order to help. I think that he might be the first in this situation, but he doesn't want to be the last. Just by him being there and doing what he's doing is like inspiration in itself. I hope for Jackson that he's able to also enjoy just being himself and just being a college football player without any of the extra, you know, pressures that might come with that.
85折，这个行，大哥
，100还有10.5万的粉丝啊！你以为？不行！
叫啥？OK， 拜拜。So you always want to be better, like 1% better than yesterday. And that's what we strive for every day. That's why we work hard every day.
Running back from Shaoguan, China, number 32, Jackson He.
Because you are trained for this moment. You know, you are trained to be like this. So don't worry about nothing, no fear, just play football.
You just gonna play the game. Just play it.
You know, this football is easy. Just play football. Just show out your ability, show out that the ability that's made in China. You know, just like show it out.
Hey, gotta get that flags on, man. The flag in the name. That's different.
Usually what I do, because there is no car really, so I just go. But today, I try to be a citizen that follow the rules. Nah, I'm not even a citizen, so I don't know. I'm trying to be a good person. Oh, fuck it. Let's go, Drake.